What's up, guys? Hopefully you're having a good morning. What I want to do is just do a quick review over what we talked about yesterday. And we were talking about graphing linear inequalities. And you guys have some notes in front of you. I tried to make it as simple as humanly possible for you guys to follow these steps, and you will know how to graph a linear inequality. So we're looking at this question here. I have y equals 3/2 x, or y is greater than 3/2 x minus 5. So when I want to graph this, I'm literally graphing y equals 3/2 x minus 5. I'm not worried about the inequality sign yet. I'm not worried about it at all. I am worried about graphing this line. Now the first thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that it's in y equals mx plus b form. Which when I look at this, yes, it is in y equals mx plus b form. Y is by itself, so I don't have to do anything funny with it. So what I want to do first is I want to identify, so I wrote it in y equals mx plus b form. Now, number 2, I want to identify the slope and the y-intercept. So I have y equals mx plus b. So m is your slope, b is your y-intercept. So in this case, my slope is 3/2, and my y-intercept is -5. Okay? So I've done that. Check. Okay, so now I want to plot the y-intercept and use the slope to plot the other points. So my y-intercept is -5. So I'm going to just move over here until I get to -5, the y value of -5, which I have right here. And now what I'm going to do is do the slope of 3/2. So that means I'm rising 3/2, rise 3, run 2. So I'm rising 1, 2, 3, running 1, 2. Rising 1, 2, 3, running 1, 2. Rising 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2. So I have my points. Now I want to connect the dots. So there's 2 ways that I can connect the dots right here. I can either, if I have a greater than or a less than symbol, I'm going to use a dashed line. If it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, I'm going to use a solid line. So that's where I'm looking at my inequality. So this is less than. So I'm going to use a dashed line. That's what I'm going to graph. So I'm going to connect the dots with the dashed line. Okay? So I've gotten step 2 complete. Check. Now let's move on to step 3. So I have the graph already down. Now what I want to do is I want to choose what direction am I going to shade. So what I'm going to do is choose an order pair that's not on the line. So here's my line. Okay? I want to choose a point that's not on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose 0, 0. Like right here, 0, 0. 0, 0 is not on my line. So I'm going to choose the point 0, 0 because it's not on my line. And what I'm going to do with that, after step 3 is checked because it's done, now I'm going to move on to step 4, and I'm going to plug the point into the original inequality. My original inequality is y is greater than 3/2 x minus 5. So what I'm going to do is plug 0, 0 in. Is 0 greater than 3/2 times 0 minus 5? So I have 0 is 0 greater than -5. Okay. So I have 0 is greater than -5 for step 5. Step 4 is complete. So is 0 greater than -5? Yes, that is true. So if the point makes the inequality true, I'm going to shade the side of the line that it is on. So 0, 0 is right here. So that means I'm going to shade the side that it's on. So that means I'm going to shade this side. Okay? If the point does not make it true, then you shade the other side. Alright? Step 5 is complete. You can pause just to make sure that you're caught up. And I'm going to move on to the next one. This is slightly more complicated. So I have 2x minus 5y equals 10. So I'm looking at this equation, 2x minus 5y equals 10. My first step is to get it to be in y equals mx plus b form. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So I got -5y equals -2x plus 10. I'm going to divide both sides by -5. And I end up with y equals -2/5, or +2/5 x minus 2. The reason why I get +2/5 is because my two negatives cancel each other out. So step 1 is complete. Check. So I got y equals 2/5 x minus 2. Step 2, I want to graph the line. In order to do that, I need to identify what the slope and the y-intercept is. So y equals mx plus b, slope and y-intercept. So my slope is 2/5. My y-intercept is -2. Part A is done. Now I'm going to plot the y-intercept. The y-intercept is -2, so I'm going to plot a point at y equals -2. And then I'm going to use the slope to plot the other points. So the slope is 2/5, so I'm going to, 2/5 is my slope, so I'm rising 2, running 5. Rising 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go in the opposite direction, go down 2, to the left 5. And then what I'm going to do is connect the dots. How am I going to connect the dots? Well, what type of inequality do I have? I have that symbol right there, which is dashed. It's less than. So I'm going to connect it with the dashed line. Okay? So now let's look at what I have. So I have exactly the same graph here. I'm going to choose a point that is not on the line. 0, 0, once again, is not on my line. And I'm going to plug it into the original inequality. So I'm going to do 2 times 0 minus 5 times 0 and see if it's less than 10. So I have 0 minus 0 is less than 10. 0 is less than 10. Well, 0 is less than 10, so it's true. So because it's true, that means I'm going to shade that side of the line. Okay? So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is I'm going to ask you guys to try the next in-class assignment for about 15-20 minutes until you guys are done. And then your sub's going to show you the answers to the question, and then we're going to move on to another step to this problem. Talk to you soon.